Hey, 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 Savvies! Happy Thursday. I literally forgot in the moment. Happy Thursday night. It looks like we have some friends jumping up and joining us on YouTube this evening. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So excited that you're here. Let us know in the comments. Yes, let us know. I'll introduce my lovely, handsome, amazing guest in a minute, but let us know in the comments that you can hear and see us okay. I want to make sure that that's good to go first. So let us know, and then also let us know where you're watching from. Typically, we aren't live at night, so this is super fun to be able to jump in. We tucked the kiddos into their bed. One of them is dog sitting and watching our puppy. We'll see how that goes. That's right. So anyway, let us know that you can hear and see us okay, and let us know where you are watching from. So let's dive in. First of all, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Rachel Dorsey. I am the Senior Director of Operations here at the Virtual Savvy. I started the SavvySystem, which we're going to talk about in a second, in 2017 as my own personal investment. Joined as a student. I launched, grew, and scaled my own virtual assistant business. And then I joined the Virtual Savvy team in 2018. So it's been an amazing ride. I just hit my 5-year anniversary, which is crazy to think about. And I'm so honored and privileged to be here talking about the tough questions that you may be asked in conversations with maybe a cynical person in your life. So what better guest to bring on
what an introduction
than the most cynical person in my life. And I say that
in love, right?
In all the love, in all the love, my amazing husband, the one, the only, Joe.
Hello, everybody.
So excited that you're here with me tonight. We're going to hear more about our story in a quick second. But I did want to remind y'all that if you haven't noticed, everywhere on our social channels, in emails that we're sharing with you, that the SavvySystem is on sale, y'all. It is our New Year's sale. We've been open for New Year's sale for just about a week. Or just over a week actually today, and we have one more week left. We have almost 200 new students that have joined us.
That's exciting.
It is exciting, super fabulous. And y'all, the community that if you join at the pro tier, the community is just on fire. So many new students taking action, branding their business, deciding on their services, all of those things. So it's super fabulous. If you are a new student or even a SavvySystem veteran, let us know in the comments. I always love to know if we have SavvySystem students hanging out with us. But that New Year sale ends next Friday, February 2nd at 10 p.m. Central. SavvySystem.com. You can find out all the information. And I'm going to tell you a little secret, okay? I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you jump over and join while we're chatting tonight, my team has already triggered the weekend bonuses that are going to start tomorrow. So if you buy tonight while we're chatting, you get early access to those weekend bonuses. You can find all of that information on the website at SavvySystem.com. If we have time, we can talk about that in our Q&A later as well. But if you're considering, join us for this fun live. Let's talk through some of those challenging objections that you might have to face when talking with a cynical person in your life. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I can bring that back up later on this evening. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about our story and how it started with the SavvySystem. So I joined SavvySystem in 2017. Pop quiz, do you remember where we were living?
We lived in Chicago.
Yes. And okay, fun fact about the Dorseys.
We've lived a lot of places.
We've lived a lot of places. Pop quiz, how long have we been married?
19.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it will be 19.
It will be 19.
Consecutive years, people.
We have been married for 18, working on 19 consecutive years. Okay, so 2017, we were living in Chicago, and we were actually sharing a house with one of our friends. We were trying to like cut down on our expenses. We were trying to pay off school loans.
School loans.
Yeah, things like that. We had two littles. Our oldest was 4 at the time, and then our now middle child was 2 at the time. And I loved being mom. Like, it was, you know, and still is my favorite job that I am honored to do. But I really was like itching to do something.
Yes.
Have something of my own. Also, you know, just wanted to bring a little extra money to the bottom line of the budget, right? You totally understand, I'm sure that. And so I really just kind of like, I want to make enough money to send my 4-year-old to preschool. And I really want to go to the gym.
Yeah,
but we didn't have extra money in the budget for me to be able to do that. And so I started searching, trying to figure out what I was going to do. Stumbled upon the SavvySystem. I'd never purchased an online course before.
Nope.
And then in walks my cynical husband. And
what you doing?
Yeah. We're going to talk about some of the questions that he asked me that we had to have the conversation about. And so feel free to interact with us in the comments. We love interaction. We love to hear your questions. Laugh at us, laugh with us, all of the above. We're here to have a good time tonight. Are you ready? Let me know in the comments that you are ready to dive in. I'm going to take a quick drink, y'all. Real life.
We are in South Texas.
Yes, South Texas.
So it's been a pretty mild winter so far. So the cedar and the ragweed have been off the charts. But this last week, I think we've gotten a total of 5 inches of rain.
Yeah.
And so it's dumped everything onto the ground, and now the mold is shooting up. So we're all just like in flux all the time. We had a day that was a 67-degree change between the morning and the evening. So it's just all over the place. So it's really impacting the sinuses lately.
Yeah. So thanks for your patience. Hopefully we won't have to mute and hack up a lung in between. But you know what? If we do, that's real life, y'all. That's real life. Okay, so let's jump into some of these questions that we had to talk through even together in that moment of, do I make this investment? I've never purchased an online course before. Like, one of the things that we had to talk through was, is this legit? Right? Like, I was doing tons of research. You were observing me doing this research. Why? Well, let's back up for a second. Let's not really back up. Stay close. What is the definition of cynical? And like we joked about it at the beginning, like, here comes my cynical husband. But what does it mean?
Well, here's some of the things it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that they're sarcastic and blow you off and they're just to steamroll you, right? It's not that. Think of it more so like the person who's a little hesitant. Have you thought about this? Digging a little deeper, asking those probing questions to really try to understand, and then they can get on board, and then they can be your cheerleader. But they can't just show up and be like, yeah, send me to the party. Let's go. I'm a party looking for a place to happen. Just not how we're built. So it's a little bit more like, have you thought about, well, what about, what is that? How do you, and a lot of questions for us to get the buy-in to really jump on board.
I would love to know in the comments, do you have a cynical person in your life? Maybe you're even watching the replay. Like, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and interact in the comments as well. We love to come back and interact with you as well. But can you think of somebody who's cynical in your life? And like you were saying, like, cynical doesn't mean that it
gets negative. Like, it gets like, oh, you party pooper, you never join in. It's like, no, it's not that. I want to join in. I just want to make sure that what am I joining into here? What's going on?
Well, Joe can be a party pooper sometimes. Let's be real. For those of you who know Joe, no.
Oh, come on.
Okay, let's dive into some of these questions. Is it legit? Why is this something that we need to talk through together in making this purchase?
Okay, so I'm trying to think, like, where were we at? What were we doing? What was going on? Rachel and I had the joy of kind of living through the financial crisis of 2008-9, like we were newlyweds and like all that, and people struggling and hearing about all these crazy types of scams and people doing all this kind of stuff. And so we had that cynicism kind of built in. So when she came up to me, I was like, okay, so are you good? Like, who's hiring you? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
How do all these pieces kind of fit together?
Yeah.
And what makes it legit is that the individual that's purchasing the program is the legit person, right? This is a tool. This is something you're going to be able to use. And we'll talk about like, what is that good for? But it is legit because you're legit. Like you're the guru, you're the expert, you've got the skill set. This is just the tool to help combine all those things together and get you moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and I love y'all commenting even in the comments that you're cynical yourself. Like, this is really good for you to hang out with us tonight and think through some of these questions yourself and process them. Like, we get this question all the time in our inbox of, is this legit? Are you guys for real? Absolutely. Like, our mission here at the Virtual Savvy is to help you create your freedom life. And that's what we want to do through the option of virtual assistants. And so Abby has created, our CEO, Abby Ashley, created SavvySystem step-by-step course that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business from scratch. We teach you how to use the skills that you already have to get out there and make some money. So is this legit? 100% it's legit. You can even go to thevirtualsavvy.com/results and you can read story after story after story of real people changing their lives in various degrees because they have walked through the SavvySystem. The SavvySystem works if you work the system. We love to say that all the time. Okay, we've got 8 questions tonight to walk through, so I want to be mindful of our time. The next one, is this another MLM? How many of you in the comments have ever done an MLM? MLM stands for multi-level marketing. Examples, Mary Kay. I should be careful not naming all of them.
Cosmetics.
But yes, there we go.
We've heard for, what else we heard them for? Energy drinks.
Oh, yeah.
We've heard of them for pans, like pots and pans and home care type stuff, right?
Yes, for sure. Okay, so multi-level marketing. Absolutely not. Is this multi-level marketing? Why is this a question that a cynic may ask?
Because we're thinking in the background, like, what is their motive? What are they trying to pull off? Like, what is the thing that they're not really writing down? Like, have you picked up on any kind of spidey senses and things that are going on, right? Don't want you to get entangled into something where your success really is benefiting somebody else more than it's benefiting you. Yeah.
For sure. That's really, really good. And we're not here to teach you how to grow a team. Nope. You can if you want to. Like, I hired subcontractors once I was established and wanted to start expanding. You absolutely can build a team, but you building a team is up to you if that's the business that you want to make. At the end of the day, you get to make the decisions. Right? Yep. You get to decide your prices. You get to decide your services, your packages, and everybody is unique. You get to build the business that you love, doing what you love, where you love, and with who you choose. You get to make all those choices. So is this an MLM?
No.
Nope. It is not.
We need like a sound effect, like, you know.
I do have one in the closet.
We
won't get it out. It's a big no button.
The kids love pushing that big no button.
That's why it's in the closet. It's not out. Okay. Next one. Okay. This is not a question. This is more of a statement. That's a big, all in caps, investment. And for us, in 2017, like I said, we were sharing a house. We were living in our friend's second level of their home. Joe was working full time. I was not working. I was staying at home. We didn't have a whole lot of expendable cash to go buy a course, right? And we here at TVS, we understand that this is investment. And we don't want you to take this lightly. That's one of the reasons why we even have a sale happening for 2 weeks, so that you have time to process, to ask yourself the questions, to have the conversations with those possible cynics, even if that's yourself in your life, to make the decision, is this the right step for me to take for my family? Why is this something that a cynic needs to talk through?
Because it is an investment, not just in the financial, but in time and in commitment. There's a whole lot of things that kind of all tie to that. And we're trying to gauge your enthusiasm as well. So it's like, if we are a little more hesitant, it'll maybe force you to be a little more excited, so you can kind of draw us over to your side. We kind of like that. We like being enticed.
Okay, so that's true. Was I enticing in sharing about the SavvySystem?
Yeah, you were, because you're like, okay, here's what it isn't, right? Here's what it is, and here's what it can do for me. And I'll talk about, I think we have a question about in returning on investment, right? That's excellent. But I'm going to share this a little earlier. It was good for me because I was able to kind of think about it as far as it is an investment, and maybe I could go figure out how to do all these things myself, but it's going to accelerate the plan if I have this tool and I'm able to put those pieces together.
Yeah.
So your ROI, I turned it into what? AOP, accelerate our plan.
Yeah.
What can I do to put that together?
Accelerate our plan, y'all. Accelerate our plan. And I have a teaching background. And so one of the things that I fell in love with about Abby's style is the way that she teaches. Like, I just totally connected with her step by step. She gives you assignments inside of the SavvySystem. The team is here to help and support you along the way. And that was such reassurance for myself. I was not making this investment by myself. I mean, yes, I was paying for it. We were paying for it, but I was in it with somebody else. And not only was I had access to, as you do inside the SavvySystem, especially if you're in the pro or the ultimate tier, you have access to the community and to the team, but you have access to other VAs that are walking through the same thing, and you're not in this alone. And so that was huge for me. Not only the teaching style, but also knowing that, yes, I was making a big investment, but I was not going to be by myself.
Yep.
Any other thoughts on that one, babe, before we keep going?
No. If any more questions come up about it, I'd love to hear them. But
yeah, let us know.
It is an investment, but we talked about what does it do for you, right?
Yeah.
That was we had to have the conversation. So it wasn't just like a number or amount of time. It was, okay, what does that include? What is that going over?
Yeah, for sure. All right, next question. Y'all, we are halfway through. We got 8 questions. Here's the next one. What will be the ROI? Please, for those who don't know or have not used that term on a regular basis, what is ROI? Okay,
so if you were in a business, your return on investment. So it would be if I spent, I don't know, if I spend $100 and in spending that, I earn $1,000, then I have a 10%, right? It's 10% of it. So what did it cost? Well, in 10% of my time, I was able to recoup my funds that I put into this thing.
Okay. So why is this, again, we're asking the same question each time, but why is this something that the Cynic will ask themselves, or that the Cynic will ask the person?
Because we want to make sure that you're engaging in it, that you're willing to kind of put the foot forward and see it through, right? So you said, what's the phrase? The system, if you work.
Oh, the system works if you work the system.
Right. So like, what is that? What does that investment look like? You can break that down into, if I have X amount of clients and I'm over X amount of time, then it kind of breaks down and you can get into the financials. Or you could look at it like, guys, I could paint this room, right? You all, like, we could paint the room. Do I want to paint the room? Do I want to invest the time it's going to take to paint this room, or my house, or some other project, right? So it's like putting all that together and be like, the investment of accelerating, so I'm not personally doing that, or somebody else has figured out some nitty gritties and they can share that insight with me. That's going to help accelerate me forward.
Yeah, for sure. All right, awesome. I see a couple questions. Oh, go ahead.
It's also a misnomer, like, because you can't factor that in. It's going to be an X amount. You don't know what that X amount is going to be, because you're gonna start really little, like a little egg, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as you go, and it's snowball, right? So it's really hard to be like, answer this question right now. Be like, well, it could look like this, or it could be bigger than this or smaller than this. I don't know. So you got to have that conversation as well.
Well, and I think too, you have to consider what you're wanting to get out of this. Like, and we have over 5,000 students, y'all, who have gone through SavvySystem. We have almost 200 people who have joined us during the New Year's sale, which is super, super exciting. But every single one of them is different. And you have to decide, what do I want to get out of this? For me, when I started, it was literally
preschool, gym membership.
That's all I wanted.
Coffee money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and coffee money. I should add that into my story, because that's very true. So I wasn't a huge empire that I was wanting to build. I just wanted to bring a little bit of extra money to cushion our budget. But then when I got into it,
and I got into it, guys.
I did.
Like it snowballed. It got bigger and bigger.
And fairly quickly. Like I got clients within the first month of being inside SavvySystem. And then within the first year, I was already looking at scaling my business. And so then my goal changed. Like I'm not just here to have a gym membership. Maybe I want to buy the gym.
The tall cup of coffee.
Not really. I did not want to buy the gym. But no, my goal changed. So you have to decide for that return on investment, what does that look like for you? And okay, let's talk dollar signs. All right. So if you go to SavvySystem.com, you can see the different pricing for the each tier. So we have standard at $9.97, we have pro at $14.97, and then we have the ultimate, which is the biggest investment, at $29.97. And you can learn all about everything that's included over there on the page. If you have questions, we can talk through that during our Q&A time as well. But then you have to look at, okay, if I'm going to spend this much money on the course, how many clients am I going to have to get to recoup my investment? And the math is going to look different for everybody, right? Your goals are going to look different. But we typically say to replace your income, okay, you need 4 clients to say yes. And this is something that Abby and I talked about in our 3-day challenge last week was, you don't have to have thousands and thousands and thousands of people to sign up. You just need 4 to say yes. And then you're going to be able to recoup not just the investment that you're making, but even possibly your income, depending on where you are. Again, everybody's story is different. Everybody's stories is unique. Are y'all tracking with me? Let us know. Let us know if you have questions. We're going to have some time for Q&A at the end as well. The lovely and talented Katie Day.
Let me just get back
there. Says, Joe, you is smart.
Usually she'd say something like smarty pants or
yes. Well, that's true. That is true too. But I will say, like, you seriously are one of the smartest people.
I try to think about it.
I know. I appreciate the way that you challenge and ask the questions to make me think through and all of those things. So I agree, Katie. He is pretty smart. All right, let's keep going. We got 4 more.
Ooh.
Do you have the time to do this? How dare you ask me if I have time? Why are you asking this question? What do you need to know? What do you need to hear?
The plan. We're asking for the plan.
Cynic's like a plan?
We like a plan.
Is that true? Cynic's hanging out in the comments.
What's the plan here?
Do you like a plan?
Yeah. What are the bumpers on this car? Where does it start and where does it end? Right? That's what we're really after. So do you have time for this? Like, have you anticipated how this is going to disrupt our current life for this thing to happen? That's what we're trying to really get at.
So this is a good question. I didn't think about this. How did me taking the SavvySystem, starting a virtual assistant business, how did that, I'm going to use your own word, disrupt our life?
Well, we want to share that now? We can totally do that.
Sure.
There was little things like in between times, like nap time wasn't just a leisure. Nap time was now work time. Like nap time was
best work time.
It was like, I'm going to start pounding stuff out. I'm on the phone. I'm doing all my stuff. And then the kid would wake up and then mom mode kicked back in. It was just weird for me because I worked retail at the time. So my days off were during the middle of the week, just kind of random, all the time. So it was like, okay, like before we were like trying to figure out something else. So it was like, nope, I got stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'll find something to do right now.
Yeah.
It was what else? It was like that little bit of time at the end of the day was like the final wrapping up, and I got a chance to kind of take care. It was like, let me pick up, let me do something. Let me help you out. Give you some time to do that. Yeah. So that was a part of it.
But we had to, y'all, that was a huge adjustment. And we had to, it wasn't just as simple as, okay, let me do that. Like, yes, he absolutely stepped in and helped and still does to this day. But you had to talk through that. Like, hey, babe, this is going to look different. Like, I have figured out that this is going to be an ideal work time. That's one of the things that we actually do inside of SavvySystem is we have you look at your calendar and you pick and choose and decide when your savvy time is what we like to call it, when your savvy time is going to be, when you're going to work on your business. And we say, you have to at least give your business 5 hours a week to be able to be successful, right? Now, those pockets of time can be anywhere inside of your week, but we had to talk through that.
Yeah.
Like, nap time was ideal.
That was gold time.
Well, especially working through the SavvySystem, right? Like, and building up the business. But then I started working with clients. So nap time, a post dinner time when he could hang out with the kids, and then also bedtime. Like, and sometimes bedtime would be the time that we would typically veg and watch a show or whatever. Now it didn't look like that. It
was more focused. It was productive time.
Yeah. But we had to talk through that.
Right?
And we had to figure it out. So do you have time to do this? You do have time. You have to figure out where you can carve in those 5 hours a week. Now, depending on how much time you have available, that's going to look different. How many clients you're able to take on, that's going to look different. We just say you have to have a minimum of 5 hours a week to be able to. And
that goes back, like we talked a little bit ago about the investment. That's a part of it, right? That we talked about that as well. You got to have some time to invest in this thing if you're wanting it to do well.
Yeah. And I think what I want you here too, like, whether you're married, whether you have a live-in partner, or you share a house, friends, roommates, all of the things, you want to make sure that you have those important conversations to talk through all of these details and what this is going to look like right from the get-go, so that you don't get into the thick of it and then you haven't had those conversations, because that's where trouble can come up. All right. So do you have time to do this? All right. 3 more questions. What additional investments will there be? Now, I totally understand why a cynic would ask this one, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's like, is this a snowballing effect? Is this going to, like, you got to go to step 2 after this? What's going on? How's that going to look? So we're trying to ask, like, what is the total sum of all the parts?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I'm going to put Joe on the spot. What do I call it? Pop quiz. What are 2 things? What are 2 things that you need to start your virtual assistant business? I did not tell him this, so let's see. TVS team, y'all know the answer.
Okay, there's 3. Maybe I'll give you 3, and you tell me if I cover
I wonder if I'll agree with them.
All right, so I would say number 1 is you got to have a computer to work on.
Yes.
Okay, hey,
that's right.
All right.
Why? Let's talk about it. Why a computer?
Oh, you're gonna be so much more efficient. Have you ever tried to do fill out any type of application with your thumbs and it's not made for mobile?
Okay,
and you're trying to zoom in and, like, I just want the cursor on this square, and you can't get it. Ooh. So.
We were talking last night. I was texting some friends. I have a little group chat with 2 of my best friends, and we were chatting last night, and I'm like, I can't believe that I'm a texter. Like, and I actually enjoy texting because when age,
we were around when texting was invented.
We were.
I remember T9, where it was like, if you went to text, it was like 444 1 22222
yes
6 77 887. Then you had to wait 7. So,
for sure.
It's a good thing it's not like that anymore.
Yeah. So a good computer. Yes.
A good computer.
A computer.
Not everything is made for your phone. You need a phone. You need a phone. I would say that would be my number 2. You need to be able to communicate. Yeah, you're going to do a lot of stuff via the emails and things like that, but you do need to be accessible. You need a working phone. And then you're going to have to upgrade the internet.
Okay.
That's the other thing that I would say is like, we learned that very quickly. It's like, oh, we're going to have to step it up a plan, because you're using a little more bandwidth, doing some stuff, doing video, downloading, doing what's the thing where it records you while you're doing looms. Yeah, doing looms and sending those out. So I was like, all right, we got to kick it up a plan. So those would be my 3. Did I get close?
I'm proud of you. Okay, so you got the 2 I agree with.
Okay.
Computer for sure.
We got a graphic.
Yes. Y'all, okay. I
don't know if that was for everybody or that was just for us.
No, it's mine. Like, it's my computer. It does it. If I do certain
Oh, we did like a
gestures.
hand thing?
Yes,
Oh.
the number 2
Oh,
will
okay.
give us balloons.
Oh.
When I don't want, there it
Hey!
is. There it is. Yes. Peace.
That's weird.
No, that's the balloons. What is the, anyway. Okay, where was I going?
I got 2. What were the 2 that I got?
Oh, computer, yes. And good internet.
Yeah.
100% you need good internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Consistent, doesn't go out. It can be raining or storming, like it's still there, like good connection.
For sure. And then a phone, I would say is optional. It really is going to depend. Joe pointed out like communication. There are so many great online ways that you can communicate so that you don't have to share your phone number or text using your phone number. So there's lots of different apps, free apps that you can use and you can use them on your computer. You don't have to use your phone. So I would say that the phone is optional. So those 2 things for sure. All right, now let's talk about, because Mountain Jeeps has this question too, like what additional investments are there? So at the very beginning, specifically in the SavvySystem, we teach you to bootstrap it, y'all. Like when I started, I didn't have money to go pay $45 a month for various platforms. Nope. We're going to find the free things to use until we have to invest. All right. So you mentioned Loom, which is like screen recordings. That's a great free platform. Slack, that's a great communication platform. That's free. As far as creating invoices and sending contracts, I love Wave apps. That's a great free application that you can use. Also, I'm a huge fan of Dubsado, which is a CRM, client relationship management program. And they will give you 3 clients for free, and you can send the contract, you can send the invoice, and everything is contained in there. And you can do 3 clients for free on Dubsado. So there are so many free programs out there. Now, as you grow your business, working with multiple clients, then you're going to learn about systems and platforms that can help you streamline your processes. And that may be, okay, I have some income coming in. Maybe I need to look at some additional platforms.
The bigger cup of coffee.
Exactly. Let's go venti.
We're going to start doing that. Yeah, absolutely.
Trenti. Although I have never personally ordered that size myself. But anyway, okay. So is there an additional investment? No, there doesn't have to be. If you have a computer and you have good internet, then you are good to go. And then you can look at other systems, platforms, tools later on down the line when you have regular income coming in. Mountain Jeeps, I hope that answered your question. If you have any follow-up questions, let me know in the comments for sure. Okay. What role or extra work will involve me? Now, this question would come from a cynic in your life. If you're a cynic yourself asking these questions, that answer would obviously be unique because you're going to be doing the work yourself. But what about your partner?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
Why is this important to talk about?
So expectations. You got to have a communication about what's happening, right? Your conversation with your significant other is your relationship. Like it is the communication between the 2. So it's like, okay, I want to support you. I'm bought in. Like you told me the things. I get it. What do you need from me? Yeah. Right. What does that look like for me?
Okay. So take us back. We kind of alluded to this a little bit, but when our kids were little and I started the SavvySystem, what did it look like for you? What was your role in supporting me in doing that?
So I didn't know it at the time, but I've learned it as I've listened and lived with you through this. It was the idea of time blocking. That's what I didn't know the word for it. Didn't have the idea for it, but it was like, okay, so I need to dedicate X amount of time. Like in a 9-to-5 job, like your time blocking set, like you're there from 9 to 5, right? Yeah. You get a 1-hour lunch, whatever it looks like, right? So it was kind of set. So it was a little more ambiguous when it was like at home. And so we had to kind of figure out like that golden time of nap time was like, I can get a lot of things done. And you enticed me saying, if I get this all done, then I'll be free at this time and we can go do something fun, right? Or we can, whatever it is that we have planned for the day.
Yeah.
So it was that part of it. So it's like, okay, what does that look like? What do I need to do during that time? Nap time was easy, but then when we had one napping and one not napping, it was like, all right, well then let me pick up the slack on the one not napping and take him out and go do something, right?
Yeah.
So I used it as a time to bond with my kids when I was off. And then those evening times, it was like, what can I do to accelerate the evening process? Like, what's a chore I could pick up for you?
Yeah.
What's something that I can do to take on? Because I want to support you in that.
Yeah.
And right now you were talking about time, you're investing your time into this, but I still crave time with you.
Yeah.
So get me bought in.
He likes me.
I like you. So it's like, let me
Aw.
help out. Let me do something so I can get more time with you.
Yeah. No, and I think it's so important that you talk through that and figure that out. I don't know when this habit picked up, but at bedtime we call it round 1 and round 2.
That's right.
Okay, who takes round 1?
I'm usually round 1.
Joe does round 1, so he will go and tuck. I'm going to say babies.
Subdue.
No, not quite like
Not
that.
quite like that.
Not quite like that. Oh my goodness. No, he will make sure that they're tucked in.
Did we do the
goodnights.
things?
Yeah.
Are we in our jammies? Do we have the bottle? Do we have our water? Do we have, all the things? Yeah. Where's my stuffed animal? Do you know where my blanket is?
Yes. And so that would have been time where I would wrap up things with clients, maybe send a quick message, maybe check in on my Slack. Did anything come through? And then I would do round 2. So after they were settled in, and I still do round 2 to
Subdued.
this day.
I still like the subdued idea. It's like, it's time for bed. Go to sleep.
Oh, well, Titus is 12.
They need it sometimes.
Yeah.
Anybody who's raised a kid understands the struggle of bedtime.
Yeah. Alicia, I don't know if you're still watching. Alicia is a coworker, and y'all, she has 5 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, girlfriend.
Was it bless her heart?
Bless her heart. Yeah.
She knows.
Y'all, do you have kids? Let us know how many kids you have in the comments. But we talked through that. We figured that out. Okay, you do round 1, I'll do round 2. And it'll be a partnership.
And even in that, like, what's the extra work? Because like, if I do round 1, I can get all this done, and then round 2, and then that accelerates everything that's kind of wrapping up the day, right?
Yeah.
It was that communication, as opposed to me being like, well, what do you want me to do? Or trying to figure, like, and me as a guy, I'm kind of dumb and dense. I didn't pick up on it until we talked about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense. And I would love to do that.
Yeah.
We'd like to be asked. We'd like to be needed.
What?
Let us be needed.
Okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. We didn't talk through doing this either. Like, what do we do if our partner, our spouse, isn't as supportive as you were to me? Like, how do we handle that situation? How do we approach the conversation of, hey, I'm doing this. I really need your help and support.
By kind of just doing that. And being willing to step out and say, hey, I'm doing this thing. Here's how it's going. I could be doing better if I were able to pull you in this way.
That's good.
Right? It's really hard for somebody who says they care about you to be like, well, you want me to care about you?
Yeah.
Right? That's counterintuitive. So you got to be able to be like, this is what's working well. This is where my frustrations are.
Yeah.
Could you help me with this frustration?
Yeah.
Anybody who cares about you is be like, well, yeah, let me. Yeah. What are you thinking?
That's good. Okay. Last question, y'all. And then we'll have some time for some Q&A. We'll answer your questions. You can ask questions about us, our story, or ask questions about SavvySystem. So be thinking, drop them in the comments, all the things. Okay. What if we lose our money? So this was a big investment for the Dorseys back in 2017 and is to this day for anybody who invests in the SavvySystem. We don't take that lightly. So what do we do if we lose our money? First of all, why is this question even a question to the Cynic? And then I'll share some really good news that kind of can ease that concern as well. So why is this a concern of the Cynic?
Because of the investment, we're thinking through it through the lens. What we're really trying to dive down into is the commitment. Yeah. Right? Like, this is somebody who's been around me. They know my faults. Like, they know the dirty, grimy details of who I am. And they're trying to figure out, like, are you for sure? Yeah. Are you for real? Yeah. Right? I don't like this question. We've done this question a couple of years. This is how many times have we done this one?
Oh, this live?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
How
know.
long have I been cynical? Like, how many times in a row have I been doing
You have
this?
been cynical for a very long
Very
time.
long time.
No.
Okay, but this question always kind of gets under because it's like, you can't lose your money because this is an investment in yourself.
Oh, that's right. I love when you say that. Say that again.
You cannot lose your money because you are investing in yourself.
Oh.
Right?
Expound.
So the only way you could lose your money is if you like do the thing and then never go out and do the thing. That's it. Like you are investing in yourself. You're investing in that. That's why all these questions have kind of led to this. You're the guru. It's not the Savvy system that's the guru. You're the guru. You already know how to do something. You already know and have a skill set. This is the tool to help you take that out of the situation or out of the surrounding that you're currently in and figure out how to do that from a remote location where you can be doing other things that you want to be doing. So you cannot lose your money unless you're just going to do this and then never do this.
Yeah.
So you can if you choose to. That's it. That's the only way. Other than that, it's like nobody like college ROI. Like if I take this degree, am I going to make this much money? You don't know. That's not the world we live in.
That's
you could go spend a lot of money on school and be a really overqualified barista, or do something completely different and have no idea. So just go to learn how to do, learn how to use the skill you already have in a different way, learn how to market yourself, put all those things together. You can't lose your money unless you don't believe in you.
Yeah. No, that's so good. And this is your story. Like you have an opportunity to invest in yourself, and y'all, you are the true hero of your story. You get to make the choices. We said that earlier. Like you get to choose how much you charge, what your services are going to be, what your packages are going to look like. You get to make all of those choices, and you are the hero. Mm-hmm. The Savvy system, the virtual Savvy team, we're just the guide behind you, supporting you and cheering you on. And there's lots of cheering on that happens inside of the community. If you
I get to hear it every day. I love it.
Yes, you do, because it's one of my favorite things. Okay, so let me tell you some good news. You can reassure yourself or reassure the cynic in your life. If you are able to invest in the Savvy system at the pro or the ultimate tier, okay, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. No questions asked, no proof of what you've done, what you haven't done. Like if you jump into the Savvy system and it just isn't the right fit for you, if within 30 days of purchasing Pro or Ultimate, you can email our team and you will get a full refund. No questions asked. Mm-hmm. Now, if you start at the standard, you have 7 days to jump in because it's just the course material. So you have 7 days to jump in and decide, is this the right fit for me or is it not? We don't take the investment lightly. And so we know that you making this investment is important for you and your budget. And so we want to give you the opportunity to jump in, try it out, see if it's the good fit. So there's the good news. Mm-hmm. 8 questions, y'all. We went through 8 questions and talked through those cynics and what they might be asking and the conversations that you need to have. Let me remind you one more time. I'll pull this while we're having some Q&A. That's not the right button.
Button. Who's got
there? It is. Okay. Savvy System New Year sale is happening. We're in the 2nd week of the sale. Cart closes for the sale on Friday, February the 2nd. But if you were here at the beginning of the hour, you heard that the team let me know that they have put up the weekend bonuses. They are supposed to start tomorrow, but if you actually jump in right now, then you can have early access to those really cool weekend bonuses. They're jam-packed, full of value. So you can check all that out on SavvySystem.com. I will keep this up while we chat. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions. We have a few.
Can we just kind of scroll up and like, I haven't really been looking here. So
yes, our team is amazing, giving
look at all this.
A synopsis and
we are supported.
Links.
Oh, okay. So we have some people from Georgia, Colorado. Cool.
You should have been reading those.
I know. You told me the camera's up here. The nerves, people, the nerves.
I gave him the rundown. I say, this is where you look. This is the camera. This is where the comments, all the things, all the things. Okay. Mountain Jeeps had another question that we didn't answer earlier. So let's read through this one.
Was it about T9 texting?
Yeah, no, that's nice texting. If I am concerned about giving out my social security number to people that would potentially hire me, is it important to establish an LLC right away, or is there a workaround? I'm not keen on using Upwork, Fiverr, or Facebook. Totally fine. Let's talk through this. So LLC. LLC is a layer of protection that you can have. Here at the Virtual Savvy, we recommend, yes, you should get an LLC. Now, should you get it at the very beginning? There's some variants to think through. You really want to do your research and look at two things. One, does my area require that I have an LLC? Some cities and states require that you have an LLC. So you want to check and make sure that is or not the case. And also, if it's not a big investment, go ahead and do it at the beginning. And again, it's going to depend on where you live. Like some places in the Midwest, it is a very minimal cost to get an LLC. If you live in some of the more populous states, they're going to be very expensive to get an LLC. And so we don't necessarily recommend it unless it's required. Now, if you're not going to start with an LLC, what you can do, and this is all U.S. information. If you are outside
we don't know your rules.
Yeah, it looks different. So just check, your area for all of those. But for your social security number, what you get is an EIN number. It's free. You just go to irs.gov and it takes a quick moment. You do have to do it during business hours because it's an automated system that is only open during office hours. So you just apply for your EIN and you'll get it right away. And that acts as like a mask.
Yeah, it's a pseudo.
Yes.
So it's a employer identification number, but it adds a layer. So like you're not using your number, but it's kind of tied as far as the IRS and the US government knows. But then when you're sending things out, it doesn't have that same number on it.
Yeah, for sure. And follow-up question. So can I get an EIN as a sole proprietor? Yes, you absolutely. And I recommend that. We teach that in SavvySystem, like 100% go get an EIN so that you're not sharing your social security number out with clients. And like I said, it takes just a quick hot second and it doesn't cost anything. It's free through the IRS. So great question. I didn't see any other questions y'all come through. So let us know if you have any other questions while we're here waiting to see. I want to give a huge shout out to the TVS team who is hanging out with us tonight. It's after hours. We have team members who are on the website. They're ready to answer any questions that you might have. We have our tech team that's working on some things in the background. I have a support person here hanging out with us, making sure that you have all the links in the chat. So shout out to the Virtual Savvy team. Thank you for being here tonight to support myself and my amazing husband. It's been super fun. I don't know. I think this is the fourth year. Well, not the fourth year.
Oh, no, that's right.
But maybe the fourth time that we've done this live. It's always fun. It's always a joy to go live with you. You never know what's going to happen or what he's going to say. So, good times. And the babies were quiet.
Yes. I only heard our oldest yell once when he died at Fortnite. But that's pretty good.
That's true. I did hear that. And the puppy was quiet. Yeah. So all good things. I hope you all have a great night. It's been super fun. Go check out SavvySystem.com. Reach out to our team if you have any questions and have a great night.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, y'all.